Justin was asking me about the big story of the day. Obviously, the title of today's podcast, a huge shakeup on the transition with Attorney General nominee Matt Gaetz withdrawing. A whole bunch of speculation. Is Matt Gaetz going to take another position? Is he going to get seated in the next Congress? Remember, he resigned from the last one, not the 119th, right? Is he going to be appointed senator? Is he going to run for governor? What's going to happen with the seat? How's Pam Bondi? Did Trump plan this? Did he not? I promise you by the end of this, I'm going to sift it all out. That's why I got annoyed in the chat. For those of you who don't get into the pregame chat, sometimes I get in there early. There's one guy or woman that just had no idea what you're doing. You don't listen to the show. If you don't listen to the show in the chat and you're going to comment on me being wrong, then at least know what I said. Okay? No, that just annoyed me. Some of you in the chat saw that. We're going to talk about Gaetz. We're going to talk about Bondi. We're going to talk about the Rhino hacks that sabotage Gaetz. A lot coming. Don't go anywhere. Big Friday show. Beam cyber sales here. Bongino listeners get up to 50% off at shopbeam.com/Bongino using code Bongino. Don't miss Beam's biggest sale of the year. Also, the Mike Rogers at the FBI conversation, we can put that to bed. That's not going to happen. We now know that. I'm going to tell you what happened there, too. Hey, I've been using Bone Charge's infrared sauna blanket, and Paula uses the red light face mask ever since they sent them to us. Really can't recommend them enough. You know, I don't advertise products I don't use. We don't need to. I only like good stuff. I use the sauna blanket because you got to go look at the research on sauna and what it does for your body. Go look up heat shock proteins with sauna. Just like magical chemicals in your body. You have them. Everybody has them. How do you get heat shock proteins? With the sauna. Use the sauna blanket from Bone Charge. You just wrap yourself up, let the infrared heat work. It's magic. I've noticed an incredible difference. Folks, I've been through a lot. I got to tell you, at 50, I should be falling apart right now. Although my joints hurt, everything else feels great. The red light face mask, equally impressive. Paula loves it. It's amazing for your skin. That's why she looks so young. She's going to be 50 next year. She doesn't care that I tell you that because she don't even look anywhere close to it. Her skin is smoother, looks more vibrant. The overall tone is evened out. It's like having a mini spa treatment right at your home. Again, look this stuff up. If you're thinking of trying them out, you're in luck. Head on over to bonecharge.com/Bongino and use code Bongino at checkout to get 25% off. The red light face mask and the sauna blanket have made a real difference in my life. I'm obsessed with life hacks. Use code Bongino at BoneCharge. It's BONCHARGE.com/Bongino. Save 25%. Statements of products have not been evaluated by the FDA. They're not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition. Thank you, Bone Charge. All right, fellas. Let's get this party started. So yesterday, big news. I always like to give you the unnecessary background. I'm sitting upstairs in the cave. We have this dark room with blackouts and, old man chairs and everything. And I'm back there again, like practically snoring like I always am late at night. Because why? During the week, I am the most boring human being on planet Earth. Ever. There is no one more boring than me. Friday, maybe Saturday night, usually not both. It's on. Weekdays, I'm Lily White's party by 8 o'clock at night. Okay, I'm sitting up here. I see the fox cowering. You know that sound? Whatever comes up, and I'm like, oh man, what happened? I go groggy. They're like, Donald Trump nominates Pam Bondi, who was the Attorney General of Florida for a long time. Let me just get this out. Full disclosure in advance. I know Pam Bondi. I'm not gonna say I know her well. Again, I don't exaggerate relationships to sound important. It doesn't matter, and it makes you sound like an asshole anyway. But I do know Pam well enough, especially in the professional space. He selected her. You can see his Donald Trump True Social post here. If you're not on True Social, by the way, you're missing out on all the news. I'm sorry. If you're not on Truth, there's no reason to not have an account. The activity there is just ridiculous. He announces Pam Bondi as his new nominee. I'll say a couple things. First, this is why I got so annoyed at that cat in the chat this morning. Like, Dan, you were wrong. I said, wrong about what? When I'm wrong, which will happen. I don't have X-Men powers. I can, the predictions and speculations, sometimes you're going to be on the wrong side of things. Wrong about what? The Trump strategy was what? You guys remember what I said? Why we categorize this strategy? You ready? This is the strategy. What am I doing? If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, we're playing Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Thank you, Josh, for that. My accountant actually sent me that. It was very nice of you. Thank you, Josh. We appreciate it. It's like a birthday present. He is punching everywhere all the time. Folks, nothing has changed about that. Look at this, Rock'em Sock'em Robbie. You guys are the best. What would I do with you guys? What would I do without you in the chat? You make my life so it's like a party every day at 11 a.m. So glad you're here. He is punching. Donald Trump doesn't do things because he's dumb. Now, a fair question. Justin asked me, do you think he knew that this would happen? Do you think he knew that? No, I don't think Donald Trump nominated Matt Gaetz. It's a good question under the assumption that he wouldn't get Matt Gaetz. I'm not going to sit there and tell, oh my gosh, it was 72-dimensional chess. No. But I do think he's practicing Rock'em Sock'em Robots with the full understanding in his head, because he's not stupid, that he is going to continue punching. But here's the thing with Rock'em Sock'em Robots. The other robot's punching too. He knows he's dealing with rhinos in the Senate. And ladies and gentlemen, he knew. Did you guys not hear me say this for the smartass in the chat this morning? Do you not remember me saying there are going to be some scalps taken? He's not going to get every single person. Folks, there may be another that goes down. I wish there weren't. I hope he gets his picks, but there may be another. Because he needs 51. He needs 50. JD will break the tie. JD Vance. He needs 50 senators. Folks, the numbers. Did we break the chat again? Holy shit. No, we didn't. Okay. He needs the numbers. If Mitch McConnell, and these others, and I'll get to them in a second, say, hey, listen, we're not voting for Gaetz, but we'll give you that. What is he going to do? He can't run in there and force Gaetz out of it. He will be. There's a recess appointment. Yeah, he could try that later. However, we need an attorney general right away. It's Rock'em Sock'em Robots, man. It may not be the only one to go down. However, the replacement, folks, everybody going to have issues, by the way. I saw a couple articles this morning. I know Pam Bondi. I support the selection of Bondi. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm not a hypocrite, and I'm not using, I forget the personal relationships. That means nothing to me. I always measure the effectiveness of a pick. How? Folks in the chat, lay it on me, kids. Lay it on me, Bongino Army. By the response of our political enemies. So if I hear on MSNBC that Pam Bondi is even what? Is even worse than Matt Gaetz, what does that mean? Full steam ahead, kids. No, they didn't say that. Really? Play the cut.
She is a dangerous and effective pick, and that's frankly worse than what we would have got with Matt Gaetz, even with the deplorable moral background that he has.
Well, you think I'm going to tell you something and then automatically flip on a dime, 5 minutes later? Sorry, drinking some coffee. Excuse me. All right, much better. Always measure the effectiveness of a pick by the reaction of your political opponents. If Jason Johnson from MSNBC, one of the most liberal lunatics you're ever going to see on that network, I've debated this guy on a Spygate panel at Politicon. I think it was him. What a nut, and really stupid too. If he's telling you Bondi's going to be worse, that says to me she's the pick. Folks, are there going to be things in the past there? Yeah. I've already seen a few articles. Everybody's got. I've said to you before, we all have it. I have it. You're never going to get the perfect pick anywhere. I'm telling you the Trump team knows what they're doing. So I just want to sum this up. No, I don't think they went in there with some 7-dimensional chess thinking we're going to do this and that, and then we know no, I don't think. I really thought they could get him through. Unfortunately, we've got rhinos in there who just don't want to change their mind ever. How do I know this is what happened? Because look at Gates' tweet, folks. This is what I get paid to do, to diagnose for you what happened. I mean, you're not here for bullshit. How am I going to waste your time every day for? 200,000 people a day join him. I'm not going to waste your time. Here's a tweet from Matt Gaetz right before he drops out. I had excellent meetings with senators yesterday. I appreciate their thoughtful feedback and the incredible support of so many. He says then that it was unfair. He was being targeted and it was becoming a distraction. But read the first line again. I had excellent meetings with senators yesterday. Folks, this is not the Stygian witches, okay? Give me the eye. It's fairly obvious what happened. They tried to push him through We've got a bunch of rhinos who are still playing cutesy time. And ladies and gentlemen, what's up with cutesy time? It's over. Unfortunately, there are a lot of rhinos in the Senate who don't understand cutesy time is over. And they basically told them no. That's it. That's as far as it goes. Now, these cutesy time zeros in the Senate who are never going to understand what's going on or the fight, they don't at all, are probably saying to President Trump in this disgusting, filthy business of politics, you've got 3 more nominees who may have some trouble. We'll give you them, but you got to get rid of him. Rock'em sock'em robots, man. Send the next one. That's it. Cernovich nailed it here. Susan Collins and Murkowski, who were hard-nosed on Gates from Maine and Alaska, respectively, you know, they voted to approve Alejandro Mayorkas, and then McConnell, who was supposedly another hard no on Gates, voted to approve Garland, as did Collins and Murkowski. Folks, these people are absolute frauds. You need to understand. Like, these folks this is what they do. They will cut a deal to get a communist in there like Mayorkas, and then you put a door kicker in there like Gates, and I go, oh, that's a bridge too far. Here is the other one. This is from Charlie Kirk site here. They're saying John Curtis from Utah is saying he was a hard no too. That would be really, really disgusting. So I'm going to let them respond publicly, but Collins and Murkowski were pretty public. McConnell, we can't have this stuff, folks. We can't have it. Listen, this is disappointing. I told you they're already trying the Flynn strategy. They just didn't have the numbers. But if you keep going, rock'em sock'em robot style, and just moving forward, you just keep pushing through nominees. I'm just warning you in advance. We may lose one more. We may. But if we get 80, 90%, sometimes it's the best you can do. When you're not practicing rock'em sock'em robots and you're putting together establishment picks, then what happens? How many do you get? Folks in the chat, help me. You get 100% because the establishment loves them. Rock'em sock'em robots comes with a little bit of a downside. Flood the zone. Continue to flood the zone. They're not backing down. They're not doing any of it. The Trump team is no quitting them. It just was a numbers game. That's it. It pisses me off, should piss you off too. I get it. I am with you 100%. Some people, should we accept this? He's moved on. There's nothing to accept. It is what it is. I practice realpolitik and I live in the real world. Folks, I just don't want you to just accept the narrative at hand, because here's what's going on right now. This is really important. Now, please stop what you're doing unless you're holding a child, a sharp object, or operating heavy equipment or driving. I'm already seeing it in Politico and Axios. Politico, Playbook, and Axios, their morning email, are like biblical-like things for the left. It's where they get their talking points. They want to drain Trump's political bank account right now, and I'm not talking about money. The left is afraid that the popular mandate Donald Trump had is going to give him unprecedented political power to move the country back in the direction of freedom and liberty. Does that make sense? I can't go forward if you don't understand what I'm saying. They're afraid they have no story now. They can't say he didn't win the popular vote. They can't say it wasn't a mandate. So now they're just going to make it up. And I've already seen this morning, they're like, Donald Trump's momentum's gone. Matt Gaetz is out. Trump is finished. We cannot let them create a story from the story. It is up to us to pound the table. You have the facts. We have the facts. Pound the facts. When you have the facts and can pound the table too, then pound the freaking table too. I need you guys to get loud on Twitter and everywhere else because people listen. Here's their new narrative. Put up that Politico thing. Calling Trump's win resounding isn't just wrong. It's risky. No, Trump's win was resounding. We won the popular vote. We swept every single swing state. We took 4 Senate seats back. Even after redistricting, we still kept the House. We won state houses back. It was a resounding victory. You see how? Did we not tell you? Did we not tell you? Did we not say last week, Michael, do you remember the show? What did we say? They're going to start putting out the narrative. Oh my gosh, this Trump victory really wasn't that impressive. The Nelson Muntz style. New York Times. Look, You find it weird, folks? All at the same time, the narrative comes out. Gates went down. Trump has no power. Trump's victory was nothing. Trump wasn't have a landslide. Look, the landslide that wasn't. Trump and allies pump up his narrow victory. It was not narrow. We kicked your ass in every single swing state. The ass was kicked. Here's the ass. Ass. Kicked. Ass. The ass was kicked. I'm sorry your ass got kicked. I'm sorry. That's your problem. That's your problem. We did the political ass kicking. You guys didn't want to listen. We told you defund the police and men in the women's room was a stupid freaking idea. We told you to close the border and stop printing money. You gave us the double barrel middle finger. Did you not? Therefore, we fought back with Donald Trump and we won. Do not let them take over with this narrative. You have the power now. You're in charge. It's getting a little already after this resounding victory. What is that? I saw my friend Dilly. What did he say? The doomers. The doomers are already out there. Oh my gosh, it's over. We lost game. Oh my, what no less. Shut up. Stop the bullshit. It was exactly what you saw last week and a couple weeks ago. It was a kick-ass victory, and yes, you should celebrate it. We haven't even started the fun yet. I promise you the fun's just begun. I want to get one other thing out of the way, too. Mike Rogers, there was a rumor, and it was a rumor, was in the running for the FBI director slot. I strongly endorse Kash Patel for that spot. Deep state operatives on social media are trying to get Mike Rogers in there, and they're playing people for fools. If you fell for that, I can't help you. This is not your show, okay? If you fell for the online campaign through deep state accounts on X, and you know who they are, to get Mike Rogers in there, you got suckered. I don't know Mike Rogers. I don't want to know Mike Rogers. Dan Scavino, who has, I mean, if anyone has Trump's ear, it's him. He's going to be his deputy chief of staff. Dan Scavino has already said this is not happening. Now, how do I know? What has two thumbs and is always right about deep state campaigns? This guy. I told you there was a social media campaign to get Kash out of there and get this guy in. Okay, Rogers. A lot of you didn't believe me. Now you're seeing it. How do we know Rogers was going to be the wrong pick for the FBI? Because of the Dan Bongino axiomatic theory of measuring your opponent's reactions. If your political enemies like Spygate Captain Andy McCabe love Mike Rogers, then what should you do? Chatsters, bring it, kids. We should not like him then. You are correct. Here's deep state Andy McCabe. Like, yeah, man, Mike Rogers would be awesome.
He is someone who's experienced at the FBI. He just ran for Senate in Michigan and almost won. Lost to Alyssa Slotkin there. If Trump named him as the next FBI director, how would you feel about that?
Caitlin, I think Mike Rogers is a totally reasonable, logical selection for FBI director. If, in fact, that's the decision President-elect Trump makes.
Folks in the chat, I need your help here. I do. This is serious. I'm not trying to be an asshole. We got 155,000 people, so this is a good little poll. Do you trust me? Yes or no? And I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm not mad at you in advance. I'm going to look at some of it. If you don't put in, just tell me why. Tell me why, because I want to know. I want to know what I did wrong on this show that you don't trust me. I'm telling you, there is a very serious deep state online influencer campaign to stop Kash Patel from shaking up the FBI. I know this for a fact. They want their guy in there, and they are going to do anything to get him in there. Now you hear Andy McCabe, the guy who ran the FBI with Comey when they spied on Trump, going, that's our guy. You don't hear him talking about Kash Patel, do you? Oh, they're talking about Kash Patel. What are they saying? Get this motherfucker out of there right away. We don't want him in there. Guys, please, man, I'm not wasting your time. I love you guys a lot, man. You mean the world to me. I promise you, man, I ain't doing this shit for the money no more. You can go look that stuff up. I'm just trying to help. I don't want anything from anyone. I'm not asking for anything. Please trust me. I'm not saying Cash is the only guy. There are other guys that Cash, I think, is the best guy. He gets it. He's been public about it. He put his reputation on the line about it. This is not personal. Rogers was not the guy. There is a big-time social media campaign. Anybody hiding on there, pretending like, oh, yeah, this guy. And I can't say this enough. I am all for anonymity online. You have not. That's not what this is about. It's about pretending to be one of us and hiding behind anonymity. That's my only issue. I want to be absolutely clear on that. I don't want anybody, you don't want to tell anybody that is your business. That's why I advertise VPNs and everything else. I am all for it. Free speech, anonymous free speech, 100%. I just don't want you working for the deep state effing with our people and pretending you're one of us. That's bullshit. And you know what you're doing. Please trust me. All right, enough. I'm really passionate about this, folks. We don't clean up the FBI, it's all dead. And why is this whole online campaign against these guys depressing? Because the deep state's power, folks, is still growing. We still got a couple months left of this shit until Trump swears in. I'll show you what I mean in a second. They're just outright giving us the middle finger now. How about he's like doing a gee now. He wants to, you know what he said? Can you guys hear him over the mic? He goes, Dan, how about your jawline? Now, if you don't get that, you'd be like, what the hell does that have to do with the deep state? Well, reality check, everyone. Look at your jawline. You stole that from Gee, but it's okay. It's okay. It's that sagging jawline and double chin that could give your age away. Introducing Genucel's Skincare's jawline treatment with dual peptides and MDL technology. Genucel's most advanced ever. The jawline treatment not only helps tighten saggy jawlines, look at this jawline, but it helps plump the layers of the skin to contour, define, and sculpt the jawline and neck area within minutes. Paula loves this stuff. You know, people go abroad and spend thousands of dollars getting rid of sagging jawlines and double chins. They should try Genucel because no one else has the technology. And with Genucel's immediate effects, you could see tightening in minutes, and the results get better every day, just in time for the Christmas and holiday season. Save over 70% off Genucel's complete skincare package featuring the jawline treatment and Genucel's immediate effects. You'll even get the Genucel XV wrinkle treatment included for Christmas and the holidays. Go to Genucel.com/Dan today, Genucel. Start looking years, even decades younger for those family get-togethers. Genucel.com/Dan is a special holiday gift. Every package order includes a bonus beauty box with 2 skincare bestsellers. All orders automatically upgraded to free priority shipping. That's Genucel.com/Dan, Genucel.com/Dan. There you go. You like how we just totally fleeced that from Gee? Gee is out today. I don't think he's playing Dungeons and Dragons or whatever he's up to. What is he doing, by the way? Is he Flesh and Blood? He plays. He had a Trump sign one of his cards. That's like his prized possession now. When he's Flesh and Blood, he did at the thing. He signed one of the cards. Yeah, it was pretty cool. He's in Oregon. Oh my gosh, he flew across the country. So if you see him at this Flesh and Blood thing, say hello. You can't miss him. He'll say hello, and that's it. He'll never say another word to you. Gee is a man of few words. Okay, back to the show. Why is this all depressing? When I say all depressing, I don't mean I'm happy about the way everything. I'm ecstatic about everything, way everything's going. But the deep state's power is still growing, and I get depressed a little bit about what's going on online, these sabotage campaigns against actual change agents, because it takes so much effort to fight back against it when the comeback is nothing but BS, okay? Here, this is a short one. So Christopher Wray, the FBI director, and Alejandro Mayorkas, our corrupt DHS director, they were told to come testify in front of Congress. They have to go. They basically just flipped Congress off. That's it. They gave them the middle finger and said, we're not going. And what's going to happen? Nothing. That's why, because they're sensing right now, if they don't fight back now and start to what Trump-proof the next 4 years, that there's going to be some serious, as I said to a friend last night, the people coming in know where the bodies are buried, and they all got shovels. And that's what they're afraid of. That's why Wray and Mayorkas are hiding. Watch this.
Welcome back. Quick update. The Senate hearings on the threats to the homeland has been postponed indefinitely. Senator Rand Paul says Mayorkas and Wray are refusing to provide public testimony.
They're just not showing up, folks. So, again, work boots got to get back on, and we got to get back to work. I want these guys up there right now. I want them on the record. There's still 2 months to go, and the Biden team can do a lot of damage. The deep state smear campaigns, folks, do not fall for them. Can we go out of order a little bit here? Can we put Pelosi up first? I want to show you something. This video was sent to me by a friend yesterday. I played it before on the show. It's old. It's not new. Folks, they are so terrified that people coming into these cabinet positions know where the bodies are buried, and they got shovels, brothers and sisters, that they are doing anything to smear them. It's what happened to Gates, who I wish we could have kept, but we didn't have the numbers. And that is on them, those senators we put up there. But I promise you, they're going to come for Pete Hegseth next. Listen to me again. I'm asking you as a friend, do you trust me? Do you trust me? Pete is the guy. Is he the only guy? No. Is he the best guy for the job? I believe so. I've known Pete a long time. He is the guy. They are going to come for him next. Do not let it happen. He is a decorated member of our military with a history of heroism on the record. He is a good man. Folks, every single person nominated for everything has baggage. I'm sorry. It just is the way it is. Fallible human beings make mistakes all the time. It does not mean that they should be kept out of leadership positions when they can be change agents because of mistakes. It was an issue with Pete, an allegation that he handled years ago. Of course, they're trying to smear him. Here's Nancy Pelosi years ago talking about what they call the wrap-up smear, where you just launch something into the media, you throw a shit grenade, and then you walk away from it and just let the liberal media destroy people's lives. That's what happened to Gates, and that's what's happening to Pete, and do not let it happen. You want to hear Nancy Pelosi explain herself, the wrap-up smear? Check this out.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, you call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made.
I mean, what else could you possibly need to hear? This is what the Democrats do. They launch a shit grenade into the media. Oh, we heard about this allegation 10 years ago. Really? What came of the allegation? Oh, nothing. It was just an allegation. I can allege anything. I can allege that Nancy Pelosi has Martian DNA. It's an allegation. Justin goes, I believe it. Hey, I'll start an online campaign on social media. Martian DNA. It doesn't mean it's true. And folks, again, for those of my haters on the left, I want you to go back and do me a favor. Oh, Dan, you're just saying that because it's Pete. Bullshit. Go yourself. That's bullshit, and you know it. When your boy Andrew Cuomo, the far-left radical governor of New York, had accusations leveled against him, I want you to go look back on it. I think it was on Outnumbered on Fox or one of those shows, or Harris Faulkner. I defended him. Dan, you defended a liberal Democrat? I defended him because he's a citizen of the United States. And what did I say? I said, they're allegations. I don't like Andrew Cuomo at all, like not even a little bit. But he is entitled to due process. Pete got that due process. There was not a charge filed, and he handled it. That's it. This is bullshit. This is what they do. Here's my friend Pete, and I don't tell you this because he's a friend. I tell you this because he's a good man. Don't let them destroy this guy too. Don't. President Trump has picked his team. That's the end of it. Here's Pete up on Capitol Hill addressing this, handling it like he should. Check this out.
I want to thank the President of the United States for this amazing, humbling opportunity to be nominated to lead. It's incredible opportunity to not take lightly. I just want to thank the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance, who spent the morning with me, meeting with senators of the United States. We take very seriously the advice and consent role that the U.S. Senate has. We look forward to engaging in that process. We take absolutely nothing for granted, and we welcome the opportunity to talk to any senator that wants to talk to us.
Did you sexually assault women in Monterey, California?
I have, as far as the media is concerned, it's very simple. The matter was fully investigated, and I was completely cleared, and that's from the leader. Thank you very much.
Folks, we have already put establishment picks up there in 2016 who had amazing resumes. We did. And what happened? They abandoned us. I want people up there with amazing resumes who know what they're doing and are willing to be leaders in a tough time. He's one of them. You're never going to believe this coming up next. You may actually believe this. There's a big controversy about this clip because we're still not convinced it's real. We're not. Justin's like, I'm with you, brother. I sent him this clip yesterday from The View of Sonny Hostin having to read another legal disclaimer on the air. And he's like, that's the one from the other day. I go, I thought so too. Do you believe The View had to issue a correction on the air again? On the same freaking story. Do you believe this shit? Folks, I promise you this is not AI. This is the craziest thing. I got that. I also, CNN going after Tulsi with the wrap-up schmear. Don't go anywhere. Big show left. Get your friends in here. Let's blow up the audience today. Hey, on MyPillow, a large retail store just canceled a big order. But you know what? MyPillow is going to make that work for you. Why? Because for the first time ever, you get a standard classic MyPillow for wholesale prices. Only $14.88, but it gets better. For a limited time, they're going to offer their entire classic collection at wholesale prices. Get queen-size MyPillows for just $18.88. Upgrade to king for only $1 more. Get the body pillows. I use one of those. For $29.88 and multi-use MyPillows for only $9.88. Go to MyPillow.com. Use promo code Dan or call 800-637-4982 to take advantage of wholesale pricing for the first time ever and receive free shipping on orders over $75. Also, orders placed between now and December 25th will have their 60-day money-back guarantee extended through March 1st, 2025. There are limited quantities at this price. The limit's going to be 10. When they're gone, they're gone. So go to MyPillow.com or call 800-637-4982 and use promo code Dan. Once again, that's MyPillow.com or call 800-637-4982 and use promo code Dan to get the standard MyPillow for only $14.88, the lowest priced ever. And our last sponsor today before The View, again, the world's on edge right now. We've seen the media stoke animosity to the point of violence, to weaponization of the legal system, and political instability. You have no idea what's coming next. That's why I stay trained, and I use iTarget Pro. Folks, this system is top-notch. Stay trained, stay ready. It uses a laser round and an app so you can practice safely with your firearm, your actual firearm, in the privacy and convenience of your own home. iTarget Pro comes in most calibers, from 9mm to 223. You train with almost any firearm. Competitive shooters, military, police, special ops guys rely on dry fire drills as part of their training. That's why I do too. Folks, I love iTarget. You got to practice your sight picture, your sight alignment. It's no good to have a firearm if you're no good with it. Not only that, iTarget Pro saves you a ton of money. You know, ammo fees, gas, getting to the range, and wait online. You can train in your own home. Range is valuable, but you got to train a lot. Go to trainwithbongino.com. Go today. You're going to love this system. Save 10%. Get free shipping on your iTarget Pro system. There are a lot of knockoffs out there. Don't be fooled. Get the original dry fire training system that works. Trainwithbongino.com. Train safe. Train smart. Train with me. Train with iTarget. Trainwithbongino.com is the website. Trainwithbongino.com. Pick it up today. Get proficient. You're going to love it. Watch how quickly your groups tighten up out there. Okay, back to the show. It happened again. This is not a remake of the other day. You want to talk about how the wrap-up schmear works? Here's the problem. That Fox case has a lot of people scared over the whole thing. It does. Now the media people are freaking out. Here is Sonny Hostin having to make a correction again about Gates and Hegseth. Showing you, measure your reaction. We're in the right, they're in the wrong. Check this out.
Sorry, I have a legal note. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations and has not been charged with any crime. Gaetz previously dismissed allegations that he paid for sex, saying that, quote, someone is trying to recategorize my generosity to ex-girlfriends as something more untoward. Another legal note, Pete Hegseth's lawyer said he paid the woman in 2023 to head off the threat of a baseless lawsuit. He has denied any wrongdoing.
Just call the show Legal Note from now on.
Or really long music. We'll be right back.
That is not the same correction. We had to check the clothing. We had to check the AI feature. Folks, we are in the right. They are in the wrong. They are freaking out and smearing people because they don't have anything else. Double down, gas pedal to the floor, 9,000 RPMs. And please, folks, we've got a lot going on. Can I just mentally prepare you? If I'm saying this too much, shut me down and just say, Dan, shut up. We get it. I won't take it personal. I just want to reiterate. There are going to be other scalps. And I don't necessarily even mean in the nomination process. I just mean politically. Donald Trump could be the most powerful politician. He could have won 50 out of 50 states. Not every single thing is going to go through without a hitch. It doesn't mean he politically lost. It just means it's part of the process. You rock'em sock'em robots and you flood the zone, and eventually you're going to get a wide receiver downfield and score the touchdown. That's it. Don't get all depressed about this stuff. Stay active, stay frosty, stay on your senators, keep up the fight. But please, don't be one of these doomers online. I know that's not you. I don't mean sound like an asshole. But you see people online who are already ready to throw in the towel. Stop. Stop.
Cutesy
you don't even know what
over.
Matt Gaetz is up to. Man, there could be another spot in a recess ready for him. Stay tuned. I want you to watch this. I want you to watch CNN here. Put this again, the smear into action. Now, news outlets are supposed to be fierce defenders of the Bill of Rights and the First Amendment. They're specifically mentioned freedom of the press in the First Amendment. Notice, they don't mention cops, sanitation workers, pilots. You don't have a special carve out in the First Amendment. The media does. They are supposed to be at the tip of the spear of free speech. This is one of the most amazing clips you'll ever see. They're coming after Tulsi next. The smears are going to come out. I promise you, they're going to come out for DNI nominee, Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, who, again, I support. I trust the Trump vision on what he wants to do with government, period. If I didn't, I wouldn't have voted for him. Here's CNN, unbelievably, upset that Tulsi stands against government surveillance of American citizens from an actual media outlet. Justin Levick, this actually happened. Listen to this.
She's also been a longtime critic of American actions abroad and specifically how intelligence agencies gather information. Here's some of that new reporting from CNN's Katie Willis, Jeremy Herb, and Daniel Strauss. Quote, where she is perhaps most at odds with the agencies she may soon be tasked with leading is her distrust of broad government surveillance authorities and her support for those willing to expose some of the intelligence community's most sensitive secrets. It's also where she may come into conflict with Trump's own past record.
You see it? The Nancy Pelosi, the wrap-up smear? Oh, he met with Becerra. That's what we're going to make the whole thing about. The whole thing. The smears are coming. Just plow straight ahead. We may lose a legal issue, a political issue. We may lose another person. Don't get depressed about it. Fight, fight, fight like freaking hell. But don't let one loss set you back. Here, I know I'm beating this thing up. Forget it. One quick thing. I'm sorry. One more. You notice how the Democrats, I told you, were going to regroup right away. They just took one of the worst electoral beatings they've ever taken in their lives. You think they're sitting on their asses? No. The New York Times already writing stories telling you didn't see what you saw. It wasn't a landslide. I can look at the numbers. That's other kids. Wait, this right. You see? They want to demoralize you. Please don't fall for it. Why? Because, folks, Biden has 2 more months. I'm not even sure he's running the White House. We'll just call it the Biden regime because no one's even sure he's running the White House anymore. The Biden regime has 2 more months to destroy the country. We got to stay on our toes and stay frosty. We can't get bogged down in any one thing. There is a major, major scandal brewing. They are trying to pack the country full of more illegals in the next 2 months. And if you don't think they can get a couple 100,000, maybe 1 million more people in here for their demographic destiny argument, that's their argument. I can play the clip for you. Then you're wrong. Did you hear about what they're doing with this app now? That now you just got to log on the app. You come into the country illegally. You don't even have to check in. You think they would have learned their lesson from Lake and Riley and others? No. You doubt me? Here, listen to Fox on this. Check this out.
Biden administration is quietly loosening immigration policies before Trump takes office. This according to the New York Post. It reports the administration is testing a new app that will allow illegal migrants to bypass in-person check-ins at their local ICE office.
Did I not tell you about the schism? The schism on the left. Forget about us for a minute. We won. There are immigration, open borders, hardliners who understand the only path to winning politically in the future is what they call demographic destiny. The schism on the left, the far lefties, have not moderated a bit since the landslide. They've gone crazier. Listen to your boy. I'm not bullshitting you. They are not moderating at all. They're telling the Biden team, hey, man, we got to get more illegals in here, not less. And it's happening right now. That's why we got to dust off and get ready to go. Why? Because they know, folks, they are in real trouble in the future. Here's the good news. It's a Friday show. This isn't the last story. I got a lot more for you. But that's why I don't want to say leave you, but you need to pay attention. I teased this story yesterday. I'm going to take a minute on this because get everybody in here. Everybody tell a friend. They need to hear this. This is going to be the best story you hear all day. Real Clear Politics. Was this in the show notes? It was yesterday, I think. Bongino.com/newsletter. You can access our show notes. You need to read this article by Daniel McCarthy in Real Clear Politics. It is so good. The title, pay attention to this. Why Democrats are losing tomorrow's elections today. Folks, you think this landslide was bad? I've got news for you. I don't want to get crazy and get ahead of ourselves. We're still dealing with the transition hasn't even happened yet. I mean, he's not sworn in. But leave this up a second. The future only looks worse for Democrats. Why? Because the next census, which is coming up, when is the next one, guys? Can someone look that up? When's the next? It happens every 10 years, but the next one, California is on track to lose 4 congressmen. New York's going to lose 3, Illinois 2, Oregon, Minnesota, and Rhode Island are going to be down 1. What do all those states have in common? Hold on, we're scratching our heads. Oh, shit, they're all liberal blue states. Yes. Really? They're going to lose a bunch of congressmen and electoral seats? Who's going to gain them? Oh, my gosh, look at this. Texas is going to pick up 4. Florida, 3. Idaho, Utah, and Tennessee, each adding 1. Michael, what do those states have in common? Florida, Utah, Idaho. That's good. That's why we pay him the big bucks. I was waiting for him to say they're red. He said freedom. You're damn right. Folks, the Democrats, 2030, we are right around the corner from this. The Democrats are effed. Please understand, the reason the open border and demographic destiny, which they discuss all the freaking time, matters to them is because people are emptying out of liberal states in droves, and they are moving to conservative ones. Not only, keep in mind, the House is flipped back and forth within about a 10 or less member thing a couple times, meaning the margins in the House of Representatives for majority are thin. If California loses 4 seats and in Texas and Florida get a combined 7, ladies and gentlemen, there's a chance the Democrats may lose the House for 30, 40 years. The presidency, they're finished. The Electoral College, we're almost at 217 before the voting starts. You think they don't know this? This is why they are pouring illegal immigrants into the country. They talk about it all the time. We've got to stop this. And illegals should not be counted in the next census, period. You see why they fought against this? This is a huge scandal brewing right now. And by the way, for all the Republican rhinos who are, making a big stink about Gates and Tulsi and Pete and Bobby Kennedy who voted for these other hacks, did you vote for this loser? Here's Javier Baccaria, sometimes known as Javier Becerra. Do you know who he is? Because Joe Biden doesn't. Joe Biden appointed him. Joe Biden calls him Javier Baccaria. It's not his name, bro. It's Javier Becerra. Here's who he is, Joe Biden. He's your Health and Human Services Secretary. Here he is up on Capitol Hill. You want to see a scandal about how bad the open border situation is? Do you realize they've been sex trafficking kids across the border and the address they're using for their homes are strip clubs? No. Listen to yourself.
Are you familiar that in that report, it revealed that children were pimped out by their aunt, which it turns out the aunt wasn't even related to the child, the so-called aunt. Are you familiar with that story that was in there?
There are a number of incidents that are reported in that Florida report. Some of them I can probably recall better than others. Some of them I would challenge and dispute, but that one I don't remember.
And do you remember the teenage girl that was in a house with unknown men with no private bedroom for her? Are you familiar with the sponsors that utilize a strip club in Jacksonville as an address for where this child, where a child should be settled?
Congressman, as I said, I don't have the information on that Florida grand jury report in front of me. I certainly can go back and take a look at it and try to get back to you.
Strip clubs. Sending young females into homes with multiple males without separate bedrooms. Yeah, I wonder why they're doing that. You think the Democrats give a shit? No, folks, they're pushing to fly more illegals into the country. You think this landslide changed their mind? The schism, it changed the moderates' minds, the Carvilles or the fake moderates, but you get my point. They classify themselves that way. You're going to see Van Jones and others try and bring these people over. The lefties are going to go crazy, like crazy pills, freaking nuts. That's why it's time for us to dust off and get right back in this fight. Don't let any one issue bog you down. Anything. Keep the agenda in mind. People are going to be, you're going to walk straight ahead. People are going to be throwing stuff at you, spitting on you. The goal is that there's the finish line right there. We've got 2 years to get it done. If we can fix this thing and fix voter ID and close the border, that Real Clear Politics article, which I saw Justin just added to today's newsletter if you want to read it, bongino.com/newsletter. It's free, of course. Read it. The future, ladies and gentlemen, is so bright. I have never felt so good. I'm not pumping sunshine up your ass, man, I promise. If we can get a hold of AI, the CRISPR technology in medicine, developments in cancer treatments, the developments we've had all over the place with material sciences and, computational computing and quantum physics and all of this stuff, the electoral dynamics changing in the country, the Trump phenomenon, black voters and Hispanic voters finally seeing how much we've wanted them and welcomed them. The country is going to be so much different, but it's all, and I mean all of it is going to hinge on the next 2 years. We have got to, I had Mike Lee on the other day. We're going to put it on our weekend interview show on the podcast if you missed it on the radio. Please listen to it. He talks about how they can use reconciliation in the Senate to push forward so many amazing things. I promise you the future is bright. I got a lot more here. Don't go anywhere, but I want you to enjoy yourself this weekend. But just understand the fight is on. The left is already dusted off and they're right back in it. Folks, the culture war is so important here too. Changing the culture over the next 2 years is going to be pivotal. Andrew Breitbart was a genius. He said once, politics is downstream of culture. Folks, he was not kidding. The culture has to change. And when I say culture, I hate when I say that and I'm not specific. The culture of fear that has surrounded the MAGA movement. I'm not talking about the 176,000 people here in the chat right now. You guys all got balls. There are a lot of people who were afraid. They're the fence sitters. They didn't want to wear the MAGA hat. People asked them who they supported. They were like, they'd have to caveat it. Well, I would vote for Donald Trump, but I don't like it. They're the fence sitters. We need them. I wish we didn't. But as you're seeing what happened with Gates, unfortunately, the softy squishes, we need them. It's a numbers game. Don't get emotional. Spreadsheets only. Spreadsheets only. Spreadsheets only. Don't get emotional about this shit, or else you're going to get burned. We need these people for the numbers. I wish we didn't, but we do. The only way we're going to get them to see the light, we only have a, 2-seat majority in the House right now? We can't lose these people, folks. Is we have to change the culture so that the culture of fear works in the other direction. That they understand we're the majority now and that they're afraid of going against the majority opinion. Do you understand what I'm saying? The culture is changing. These little Trump dance things, this is a huge deal. This is not a small deal. Folks, I don't care about politics in sports or entertainment at all. I don't. Actually, I'd rather it not be there at all. But that's not my fault. I did not introduce politics into sports and entertainment. Sports and entertainment people did by jamming Colin Kaepernick in our face and his socks with cops depicted as pigs. So if there's going to be sports and politics, then you're damn right that I'm going to sit there and clap my hands when a couple of guys want to do the Trump dance. They ain't jamming it down anybody's throat. They're not asking the NFL to put Black Lives Matter on, Trump Lives Matter on the field. Here's Scott Jennings on CNN addressing exactly this point. It ain't us who brought politics into this. It's the left. And now they don't like it that a couple people do the Trump dance? Tough shit. Check this out.
The Trump dance is it's weird, it's new-ish, and it's ridiculous, so which also makes it trendy.
Right, yeah.
Catchy.
It's like a TikTok dance.
Yeah, it is, right. And so I don't think that's going to be something that players are going to be doing into next year. It's just kind of something new that players are doing, and they all when you make a play, you celebrate, you want to do something that's fun and trendy, and they're doing the Donald Trump dance because that's the fun and trendy thing right now.
I don't think it's right to equate this Trump dance, which I agree with you, it's kind of a fun, trendy thing that's going on, with the overt political statements that some players were attempting to make, but then also these whole sort of cultural movements that were built around some of these players to try to force everyone else to participate in it. I see these things as totally different. I don't see these players necessarily participating in politics as much as they are just sort of participating in the current pop culture. I think they're two totally different things. And these players are not out there trying to browbeat their teammates into joining them if they don't want to.
You see why this bothers them? I hope I'm explaining this succinctly but accurately because it matters. These visual representations that it's safe to go in the water again. Oh, look, I was afraid to call myself a Trump supporter. Now my favorite NFL tight end is doing the Trump dance. Maybe I can go out with my MAGA hat. Do you see? Oh, man, I wish we would have had that person dancing video. Do we have the dancing video of the guy? Yeah, do we have that? Can you find that for me? I hate to ask you last minute. We only got we're down one guy today, but I want to show you, if he can pull it up, I want to show you his video. The culture happens. You ever read that book On Killing? It's a book about actual killing and war and the history of it. It's an amazing book. It's called On Killing. It'll change your life, right? It's written by, was it Dan Grossman? Is that his name? Forgive me if I'm getting the title wrong. I'm pretty sure that's it. The book talks about sheepdogs, and wolves. You guys were the sheepdogs, okay? You were okay, cool. Play it in a second. You guys were the sheepdogs. You were. You all out there were the sheepdogs. You were protecting people's freedoms even when people didn't want to protect it themselves. This was you. The crazy guys dancing, and you were the first person to jump in and dance with them. Everybody else was like, I'm not going to dance with that other guy. Look, man, he looks weird. That's all silly. But then another sheepdog comes in and is like, you know what? Here he is like, I'm going to dance with these two guys. And then you're going to see what happens. Once the two sheepdogs protect him, other sheep start coming in because it's safe. And then more sheep realize it's safe because they see people dancing, whether in the end zone or in the UFC ring. And then everybody else on the outside realizes, hey, why was I being a sheep? I should have been a sheepdog too, because the sheepdog movement looks pretty cool and I don't want to be a dork. And now look, there's more, and then there's more, and then there's more, and then more. And then all of a sudden everybody realizes, shit, I'm in the minority not being with the sheep and the sheepdog here. So I don't want to be a sheep anymore. I want to be a sheepdog too. That is one of the most powerful videos at that music festival you'll ever see. It is not the first person dancing that changes the world. It isn't. It's the first person that jumps in and makes it safe for everyone else. That was you. And I love you for it. No, that was you. And you should all take a bow. I know self-praise stinks, but you deserve it right now. I'm serious. Pat yourself on the back. 4 years ago, when everybody dumped on Donald Trump, garbage candidate, terrible, we need someone else. What did you say? Bullshit. I'm standing behind this guy in this movement. There's something there. And you know what? There was something there. There was something there. And you guys were the sheepdogs. But please, if you notice in that video, the guys dancing don't go, hey, don't come join us in the dance. We were here and you guys were sitting down. They don't do that. We need the numbers. They're different than you. Yes, they were sheep when you were sheepdogs. But we need them. Don't get emotional about it, folks. Spreadsheets only. If we can add them as a +1, take it because we need it. The real world sucks sometimes. But it's about a numbers game. I want to play this clip for you, too, because it matters. This is why CNN is freaking out about Elon. What does Elon have to do with this? Ladies and gentlemen, Elon provided the platform by which we could show you that video. Dan, it's on Rumble. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Elon made it safe to talk about free speech again, which made it cool to be against cancel culture and not cool to be the canceler. This is why they're terrified that Elon's platform is becoming more representative of what America looks like. They loved it when it was 75% or so liberal, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, look at those dorks dancing. Then all of a sudden, Elon buys it. Normal people are allowed to speak again. And then people realize, holy shit, 50% of the crowd really is like me. Listen to this CNN segment. You'll see this is one of the most important things we've ever discussed. Change the culture, you change the politics. Don't change the culture, you're going to lose every time. Watch CNN freaking out that Twitter now looks like all of us, not just liberal America. Check this out.
So one of the big reasons he bought Twitter/X is because he wanted to make it his own platform, remake it in his own image. And I think this really gets at it. Look at this. The party ID among those who regularly use X/Twitter for news. Back in 2022, 65% of those who regularly use Twitter/X for news were Democrats. Just 31% were Republicans. Look at where we are today. Just a completely different picture. Now it's basically split between Democrats at 48%, Republicans at 47%. And what I should note, Mr. Berman, is this new overall makeup matches the overall electorate far better. And more than that, John, look at where Mr. Musk's net worth is today versus where it was just 2 months ago. He is the richest man in the world by far. 2 months ago, look at this. His net worth was $252 billion. Look at where we are today, $314 billion. He is by far the richest man ever to be on this planet. So yes, he's not as popular. Yes, Twitter/X perhaps is not as popular, but it's a much different platform, one that more represents Elon Musk's, let's say, political instincts, and he is now a far wealthier man.
You know, the president asks you do something. He is not. I just want to be crystal clear on that. This is really important because everybody's talking about this like this was some kind of especially the way CNN's addressing it. So I haven't heard anything like this. However, I want to say in advance, I'm not mad at all, and I'm not even remotely bitter about Van Jones and Tapper, talking about me and kind of quietly taking a shot at me. They barely mentioned the fact that I had a decade plus in the Secret Service, 5 years in the Presidential Protection Division, was with the NYPD, was a Republican nominee for Senate and House. Not that you got to kiss my ass, but it's always like the right-wing personalities. If the only thing I've ever done is politics in my life, whatever. I'm not mad about it. These guys are, opinion people, and they talk about the news. And the story's in the news, so I'm fair game like anyone else. And in the scope of things, this really wasn't that bad. I mean, it was like they were taking heavy-duty pot shots, but it is kind of funny. Cutesy time is over has gone national. Well, it was on CNN, so I'm not national. But hey, check this out. It's pretty funny.
CNN is reporting that right-wing media personality and former Secret Service agent Dan Bongino, we by the way, years ago, we would have him on to talk about Secret Service issues on this show. He is being considered for Secret Service director. Here's to some of what he said on his podcast today on how he views the new administration.
Cutesy time is over, and we led the way. And a lot of people are recognizing that, folks. Cutesy time is over. I'll say again today on Wednesday, people are policy, and it is time for us, because we are the news, to double down on the MAGA agenda.
Van, you're going to have to stop being so adorable because cutesy time is over. No, but seriously, in all sincerity, that does reflect an attitude of so many of these picks, which is it's time to really shake up Washington, and a lot of people think a lot of Trump supporters think that he went with establishment picks last time, and that was a horrible idea. He wasn't able to really drain the swamp, and now that's what they're doing.
You have to believe a lot of things that are not true for this to make sense. What is the problem you're trying to solve with our intelligence services? We get a chance to walk around here and not have bombs blowing up all over the place because our intelligence services are doing a fantastic job keeping us safe. If you think that sending a wrecking ball through our...
Okay. Now I deserve the chance to respond, right? Like I said, not mad. I'm not bitter. It's a news story. I'm fair game like anyone else. But so are you guys, right? Jake, Van, you guys are in the public space, so you're fair game too. I get the chance to respond. So what's the problem, Van, we're trying to solve? I should say we. I'm not in the administration. I have not been asked, but assume I was. Say I was the Secret Service director, sitting there with Ratcliffe and Tulsi and hopefully Kash Patel at FBI. The problem we're trying to solve, you completely, right over your head, missed. I love how he says, did you guys hear this, Michael? He goes, you know, the intelligence community out there and all these other people. And by the way, Secret Service isn't part of the intelligence community. They consume intelligence. They don't produce it. However, they do consume a lot of intelligence because they want to make sure they can get the threat right? We are not completely safe. There's a major war in the Middle East that broke out because our intelligence community missed a 9/11 style attack in Israel. There have been terror attacks where people have been on the FBI's radar and they missed it. Why? Because the FBI has been too busy. This is what the CNN bubble looks like. You may have missed these stories, Van. Did you miss the story about the FBI and the Moms for Liberty, the FBI and the pro-life movement? These are threats to the United States. Grandmas in the gulag for a trespassing charge on January 6th. This is the security threat that's going to keep us here. Go get grandma. Go get her. Did you miss all this? The FBI, I didn't even get to the serious stuff. Did you miss the FBI spying on Donald Trump? Van, I'll give you a little homework. Look up the name Azra Turk. Go look that up. You can read about it in the books I wrote about if you want. Go get it from the library. Here, thank you, guys. I didn't even ask him to throw this up. Just the news. Justice Department investigated the conservatives' Moms for Liberty in the same manner as the Ku Klux Klan. Again, did you guys miss all this? Why is Trump taking a wrecking ball to the status quo? Because the status quo has failed. There's a thing called opportunity cost, Van. You waste your time spying on presidential candidates and conservative groups and Tea Party groups with the IRS and other things. That's time not spent trying to intercept a major terror attack in the Middle East. That does involve us because we've been dragged into it. The same Death to America crowd was involved in that. The same people who told Biden, the intelligence community, oh, Putin's not going to invade Ukraine. They missed that one too. So forget me, pull me out of the story. But cutesy time is over because that's what cutesy time gave you. It gave you a bunch of bullshit investigations. And that's why President Trump is reaching out to people who are actual door kickers. I just want to say again, we have not spoken about this. This story, like yesterday on CNN, a whole bunch of reporters are reaching out for me for comment. Why isn't he responding? Because there's nothing to respond about. What do you want me to respond and say? I don't know what you're talking about? By the way, I don't really speak to reporters anyway about that kind of stuff, politics. I don't talk to reporters, especially left-wing ones. Conservative one. Oh, you go. Cutesy time is over. Could someone send a shirt to Jake? Store.bongino.com. Our proceeds go to charity, so don't worry. It's not like some money-making thing we're doing for us. Store.bongino.com. Somebody mail Jake and send Van a cutesy time is over, probably extra small. Send them over. Cutesy time is over. Maybe they'll pin one up in their office. We have all sizes in stock. Someone make a donation over to CNN. I saw that last night. Again, I'm not mad at these guys. I'm part of the news. I'm fair game. I don't have a thick skin, but I do realize that being in the business, when you're part of the news, you're part of the news. You don't want to be part of the news? Stop being a wuss and don't be a public figure, okay? End of story. Go do something else. And I like doing what I'm doing, so it's part of the business. Dear liberals, we are always right. What is two thumbs and is always correct along with his little Bongino army, which isn't so little anymore? This guy, by the way, thank you for making us, according to Triton's ranker in October, I can't believe it, the number 3 podcast in the United States. Never saw that coming. Thank you guys. Love the Bongino Army. You guys kick ass and take names. Absolutely adore you guys. We are always right. Why is our army not so little anymore and growing? Because it's fact-based, the show. We've told the libs. We warned them 1,000 times. Your fascination with identity, politics, and division is going to catch up with you. Why? Do you remember in the chat? Folks in the chat, do you remember? Oh, there we go. Back up. Look at it. We got 125 too. Nice. All right, we're fully back up. Thank you, Chris, for fending off another massive attack. These guys are so good. Boom, boom, done just like that. We told you a long time ago that the cannibalism theory was going to take over. The cannibalism theory in the left, for those who are new to the show, is this. Conservatives, the MAGA crowd, libertarians, and Tea Party people started giving liberals the double-barrel middle finger with cancel culture a long time ago. They just pound right through it. Don't say masks don't work. What do MAGA people do? They go to Twitter the next day, or all caps they put, now masks definitely don't work. We don't care. So eventually, they've had to dial back because they know they're wasting their time. But there's power for them in canceling people, okay? So when they can't cancel conservatives and MAGA people because we just don't listen, we flip them off, they were going to turn on themselves. And this is what's happening with identity politics with the left. If you happen to be black, right? You've been told by the media forever, right? The left, man, they're looking out for your interests against those horrible Republicans. You're now finding out that it's actually the Republicans that have been looking out for your interests against the horrible Democrats. Because if you're black and you say, hey, I'm a father who happens to be black, and the left told me, like, I'm a big interest group, they're looking out for me, but I don't want a man in the bathroom with my 12-year-old daughter, a man, an actual man, the left will then attack you. You get what they're doing? They can't attack us because we're just going to hammer ahead. We've never wanted men in a women's bathroom. But now they're eating each other alive. And I tell you, man, I am buying my ticket in the front row to see it. This is glorious. Please keep this up. Begging you, please keep this up. Here's a tweet from some communist, Tim Miller. He's at the Bulwark, which is the commie site. Is it wrong to suggest that Sarah McBride, she is the new trans member of Congress, should follow Mike Johnson in the men's room and stand right behind him at the urinal at the next opportunity? Tim, that's a great idea. You tell the trans member of Congress, Sarah McBride, who's a man, tell Sarah McBride to follow everyone. This is working out great. I'm dead serious, folks. I'm not kidding. You guys have given such great advice at the Bulwark. The Bulwark, which is like a commie site, which has been wrong about everything. Every significant political trend of our time, the Bulwark, have they not, guys, have been on the wrong side of every one of them. Please take Tim's advice and make Sarah McBride and the trans issue the focus of everything in your next term. Please do that. We're actually begging you to do it. Your fascination with division, cannibalism, and eating each other alive has done so well for you. You lost every single swing state despite having every single lever of power behind you. Mainstream media, academia, entertainment, even Taylor Swift. And you got your asses kicked because your issues suck. You definitely got to keep up more of this, dude. Did you guys see this clip? Tell me when I sent this over, you guys weren't in love right away. I had to put this on. I never put clips like this in the beginning of the show. Never. This one's right in the beginning. You see this lunatic, Jasmine Crockett? She's a member of Congress, obviously a Democrat. This one, I'm not sure about her psychological status. I'm really not. Here she is. Again, she's a member of Congress, paid probably close to, if not more than $200,000 a year. She has lobbyists kissing her ass every day. She will never, ever be middle class for the rest of her life. Lobbyists will pay her. She'll be giving speeches, okay? She is living in the lifestyle. She is a one percenter, okay? Here she is complaining about being oppressed and, again, blaming the white man, which is by its very definition racist. She's categorizing a group of people according to their race without knowing any of them and basically saying, hey, look at you guys. You guys, here's Jasmine Crockett. Please keep this stuff up. This identity politics is such a winner for you guys on the left. I want to fund a PAC. Check this out.
You can then misuse words like oppression. There has been no oppression for the white man in this country. You tell me which white men were dragged out of their homes. You tell me which one of them got dragged all the way across an ocean and told that you are going to go and work. We are going to steal your wives. We are going to rape your wives. That didn't happen. That is oppression. We didn't ask to be here. We're not the same migrants that y'all constantly come up against. We didn't run away from home. We were stolen. So yeah, we are going to sit here and be offended when you want to sit here and act like, and don't let it escape you that it is white men on this side of the aisle telling us, people of color on this side of the aisle, that y'all are the ones being oppressed, that y'all are the ones that are being harmed.
Folks, please, can someone and folks in the chat, I'm glad to see everyone's back. Good. Yeah, right. Right. Rock'em Sock'em Robots. I just saw that in the chat. Can someone in the chat get like Jasmine Crockett PAC and just like buy the URL.com? We need this woman in leadership on the left. We need to make sure that this woman is a potential presidential candidate in the future. Lefties, please keep this up. Jasmine, I suggest you and Tim Miller get together over coffee in a Starbucks, have a macchiato or whatever. It's kind of a left-wing place. You guys would be great together. Get together the agenda for the Democrats' midterm platform. Make it about following women and men into bathrooms when you're the opposite sex. It's a great idea. And keep telling white men and women across America busting their ass to stay ahead in this country with inflation that they're somehow oppressing you while you're paid $200,000 a year to sit in Congress and have someone kiss your ass all day. Yes! Keep it up, Jasmine. We love it. The judge has ruled. Folks in the chat, you think it's a great idea? Get this woman in leadership. Make her the whip. Make her the minority leader. I don't care. Crockett, Harris, 2028. Guy's looking into it now. They're going to put a campaign sign together. I want this woman running for president. This has worked so well. Folks, this is going to be the death of the Democrat Party. But do you understand? Dan, stop telling them. Listen to me, brothers and sisters. Listen to your boy. I'm in a really good mood today. So much good stuff going on. So much. I am in an amazing mood today. Couldn't wait to do the show. Listen to your boy here, please. Please. It doesn't freaking matter how many times we cover this stuff and make fun of them for doing it. They cannot control themselves. Do you understand that? I mean to sound like an asshole. They can't stop because they don't know anything else. Jasmine Crockett doesn't know anything about anything. Either does Tim Miller, or else his predictions would have been correct. He's been on the wrong side of everything along with his entire team. They don't know anything. All they know is insult, division politics, and identity politics. They can't stop. I'm going to show you a clip coming up next. Another classic from The View. Sunny Hostin, who happens to be an attorney, you would think she would know better, has to issue another. How many corrections is The View going to have to issue on the air? This is unbelievable. She's a lawyer. They have to issue another correction because they can't stop. They're like kids who can't stop pooping in diapers. They just don't have the bowel control. They just don't. I'll show you what I mean coming up next. This woman's a lawyer. This is like, I can't even tell you how many corrections we've had to cover from The View. It's hilarious to watch. Omaha Steaks say nothing delivers comfort and joy quite like the unrivaled quality and taste of Omaha Steaks. This year, skip the holiday hustle and bustle and save 50% off gourmet gifts site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, get a $30 reward card when you shop early and score an extra $30 off with promo code Bongino. That's a big discount. We just stocked our house with Omaha Steaks. We're ready for this busy election cycle. The transition is going to be a lot of late-night meals, and it's good to come home to some really delicious, amazing food, tender, delicious steaks. Even the seasoning there is amazing. With 5 generations of experience, they consistently deliver the world's best steak experience, and the gifting experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to deliver the perfect gift with thoughtfully curated gift packages starting at $89.99. From legendary steaks to mouthwatering desserts and more. Save 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners get an extra $30 off with promo code Bongino and a $30 reward card when you shop early. That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com, OMAHA, and an extra $30 off with promo code Bongino. Check them out. The steaks are delicious. Minimum purchase may apply. Visit omahasteaks.com for details. Thank you, Omaha Steaks. We appreciate it. This woman on The View, Sunny Hostin, this is a perfect example of this little conundrum the Democrats find themselves in. When you base your entire political movement about telling people they're different and they're oppressed and they're victims, eventually they don't want to feel sad anymore. Folks, I'm just going to be straight and honest with you and candid. They don't want to feel like they can't overcome the system. Who wants to be told, listen, you're living in a social jail cell. You can't possibly escape. Your life is going to suck and you need politicians to save you. Who wants to be told that? The answer is almost no one. The only people who want to be told that are people who fail and want an excuse. Here's Sunny Hostin. She has nothing else going after Matt Gaetz. You're going to see the before and after. She has to issue a correction on the air, and she just can't prevent herself. Look at her. Look at her face, what she has to do. This looks like a hostage video. Check this out.
How could you nominate someone with allegations of child trafficking trafficking across state lines and having sex with a 17-year-old? My understanding, further on in the interview, they discussed the fact that once he finds out that she's 17, he stops having sex with her.
Okay, Sonny, you have a legal note.
I do have a legal note. Thank you, Whoopi. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations, calling the claims, quote, invented, and saying in a statement to ABC News that this false smear following a 3-year criminal investigation should be viewed with great skepticism. That DOJ investigation was closed with no charges being brought.
We'll be right back.
I've seen oh my gosh, you see the face? You see her face? She looks like she's really having a moment right there, you know? Folks, that's one of the finest corrections I've ever seen had to be issued in here. No, everything she said, she just made up. Then the legal department, I've been on these live sets. You haven't, look at her face. Oh, this is an absolute classic. Someone is in her ear. You see the little IFB I have in, the little squiggly Secret Service kind of thing, right? Don't read into that too much. But it's the same one we use over there, right? Someone's in her ear going, Sonny, you can't say that on the air. We could be sued for defamation, for malice. You got to correct that. She's a lawyer, man. They can't stop. Stay focused on my point, though, in the beginning. Folks, everybody's already throwing out the midterms. I know you're like, oh, damn, we just got over this election. Stop talking about the midterm. No, I'm moving right ahead. I want Trump to have a good 4 years, not just a good 2 years. And we need to win. You're not ready to move on? Okay, fine. I'm not ready to move on either. We got to get the first 100 days after you sworn in here. I need to win all the time. Gas pedal to the max, 9,000 RPMs. That's it. That's it. I am always high energy all the time. I'm always thinking about the next fight, Karate Man style. Always Karate Man. Jake, put Karate Man on the air. I want the nation to do a Karate Man along with Cutesy Time. Put that sucker on the air. Can we do a Karate Man shirt? Or is that like some kind of trademark? Can someone look at any lawyers in the chat? Can you advise on that? They can't trademark the term Karate Man, right? I mean, Karate Man. I don't think, someone in the chat, if you're a lawyer, let us know if you have some expertise. I am not an attorney and I don't pretend to be. But I will say, unlike Sonny, I know not to defame people while I'm on the air. So there you go. Okay, good. Back. Nice. This Rumble. You guys are great, man. I love these guys. Rock solid. Here, please keep this up. Liberals, we are begging you guys. Please keep it up. Keep doing the identity politics stuff and keep ignoring the issues that are impacting everyday Americans and the everyday Americans that kicked your asses out of office in a lot of these places and flipped every swing state in the presidential race. Here's another one. This is sad, folks. I hate to do the emotional roller coaster on this show, but that's how we roll. The Lake and Riley trial, Jose Ibarra was convicted yesterday. The crime is horrendous. This disgusting piece of garbage I got to tell you, I'm not a huge fan of the death penalty, as many of you know. However, this is one of those cases where, I question him. I'm always open. I'm always open for a good debate on anything. Here is ABC. You would think that this was a clear-cut case where they could say the election's over, the people have spoken about immigration, the people have spoken. The immigration issue was a clear winner for Donald Trump. This Laken Riley trial is a clear indicator we have to be more secure at our borders. No, that doesn't happen at all. There is no self-reflection amongst the radical left at all. What does this ABC commentator do? Turn around and blame Donald Trump. And almost like an apologetic statement about the illegal immigrants. Totally, completely out of touch. Please, lefties, keep this up and you're never going to see power again. Check this out. Yeah, Laken.
This death of Laken Riley and the subsequent trial has essentially been a massive political lightning rod here in this country. And you said it there yourself, the president-elect campaigning on the death of Laken Riley and pointing to the current administration, saying that their laws and what they're calling failed policies contributed to Laken Riley's death. I want to remind you that Ibarra entered this country illegally in 2022, according to law enforcement officials, and he was paroled and released for further processing by ICE.
Folks, that segment goes on for about another minute, and this is the ugliest, most sinful, immoral Republicans pounce I've ever seen. Did you listen to the testimony yesterday? The testimony by the friends and family of Laken Riley? Folks, Tom Homan, who's one of the toughest guys I know, the border czar nominee for Trump's administration incoming, this guy's tough. I mean, hard as nails, man. He really is. Do you see him get choked up on the air on Fox talking about this? I mean, it was tough to listen to. And this is the ABC take. Folks, the schism on the left is real. I'm going to be covering this over the course of the coming weeks in and out because it's important that you and I take advantage of it. If we are going to bring this country back to sanity, we have to enforce this schism on the left. The schism on the left is this. If you heard it on my radio show yesterday, in my podcast, I want you to tattoo it on your brain. The crazies that lost in the last presidential election 2 weeks ago, they lost because they wanted open borders, men in the women's room, and defunding the police, the crazy stuff. There is no reckoning for them at all with them. They're going to get crazier. I've just showed it to you. This was the clearest cut segment ever where they could have righted a wrong, and they didn't. There is a wing of the party, though, the Van Jones kind of, James Carville wing, that is going to be, they want power because that's where all their money and influence is. This schism is real. And you're going to see it now, what happened in Bucks County yesterday, where this schism, they're starting to realize, some of the not crazy lefties, that they better get on the right side of this stuff quick. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to get back to that. And Scott Pressler just destroying it yesterday over in Pennsylvania, in Bucks County, giving a great speech. Hey, Berna, listen, when it comes to protecting your family, it's not just about a firearm. It's not the answer for every situation. Imagine an imminent threat comes to you and your family. Well, instinct may drive you to reach for a firearm immediately. Well, what if there were a way to defend yourself and de-escalate a situation without the irreversible consequences of deadly force? Berna's non-lethal pistol launcher, equipped with tear gas and kinetic ammo, can incapacitate an attacker for up to 40 minutes. No need to jump to DEFCON 1. We just need protection to ensure we can defuse that situation and drive that threat back. I've trained with firearms most of my adult life, and the Berna pistol they sent me was really easy to learn, use, and operate. The guys have one too. If you don't own a firearm, it's a great option to have. Made in America, legal in all 50 states, requires no background checks, and shipped right to your door. Visit Byrna.com/Dan now for an exclusive 10% discount for my listeners today. That's BYRNA.com/Dan, Byrna.com/Dan. You won't regret it. And our last sponsor, before we blow up what happened in Bucks County. Hey, cardio may not be enough. You guys follow a lot of these health hack podcasts? I do. They're really wonderful. And they'll tell you strength training is where it's at. Here's how I do it. With the single best all-in-one home gym I've ever seen. Right here in my own place. Oh, thank you, guys. I didn't realize you did the pick. That is my actual all-in-one fitness from Jacked Up Fitness home machine. I adore this thing. Use it all the time. I can't even tell you how many exercises I do on that. Includes a full body workout video. You can literally just push play and follow along. It's that simple. There's no more excuses. Get yourself in shape now. Jacked Up Fitness is a badass American company. They are proud of their country. They love this place. I know the owner, Don, very well. He's a really, really good guy. Jacked Up Fitness, Jacked Up Fitness. They donate to wounded warriors. And now through Cyber Monday, Jacked Up Fitness is offering 20% off site-wide. It's the best deal you're going to get on these incredible machines. Highly recommend it. I don't have a lot of space in my house. This is worth it. The holiday rush is on. Order early to make sure you can get yours and change your life. No promo code required. Order your home gym today at getjackedup.com. That's getjackedup.com. Save all those gym fees. Go to getjackedup.com. Get their all-in-one machine. I was doing the one arm. You have that picture again? I was, instead of the pull downs, I was doing them one arm at an angle, and my lats today are so sore. You know, like your armpit there? I feel like I got a knife in my armpit. That's how sore I am. GetJackedUp.com. Cutesy time is definitely over. All right. So you're seeing it in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, where what happened? There's an election official, you probably seen the video, who unbelievably admitted on camera that she wanted to count ballots that the court system had ruled were invalid. In other words, she appeared to, on video, indicate she wanted to steal an election. This is the kind of thing. Watch, folks. That's why I'm telling you, the schism. The schism is real right now. This is the kind of thing years ago that even fake moderate Democrats would go along with. Remember Stacey Abrams insisting she won the governor's race in Georgia over Brian Kemp? Remember that? It was, 8 years ago? Even though she lost by like 50,000 votes. Almost no one spoke out against her. Even the quote, normie Democrats went along like, oh, yeah, just say it was stolen. We don't care. What's happening now? Pay attention to your buddy. I'm not steering you wrong. It's a small portion of the Democrat Party, but not insignificant. They're starting to see the light that this ain't going to roll anymore. Someone put the squeeze on this Bucks County commissioner in Pennsylvania and said, hey, man, you better come out and you better say something because you're making us look like assholes. We can't call these guys election deniers while you're on camera basically trying to steal an election. Here she is. But notice, she doesn't go all the way. She blames Roe v. Wade, and she does kind of a Republican's pounce. So it's kind of a fake apology, but someone squeezed her. Make no mistake. Check this out.
I apologize, and I will continue to work hard for you and endeavor to not make such a mistake again. I will also clarify one more thing. When I inartfully spoke and used the word precedent when I was talking about provisional ballots, I was referring to the United States Supreme Court and the precedent that has been lost on many issues, including Roe versus Wade. If you would just bear with me for one more minute. Unfortunately, I took my frustration out on the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, many of whom are friends of mine and who I respect and whose decisions are complicated and difficult and important. We are all going to learn lessons from this new media landscape, and most of all, I am. I am a small fish in this big pond. I do not have a megaphone on Twitter or CNN, or I am not a Secretary of State. I don't run a presidential campaign. This is the only opportunity I have had to set the record straight. Thank you for listening to me. Today is the only chance I have to stop the snowballing, and I don't really think I could apologize anymore, but I am truthfully sorry.
Who's the news now? Who's the more? Who's the news now? I know not everyone went to Penn State, but we are. Penn Staters will get that. We're the news now. You notice how she says that at the end? I'm not familiar with this new media landscape. No, you're not. No, you're not, lady. You are not familiar with the new media landscape. Clearly. Who's in charge now? We are. Who made this a story? Us. You. You're like, I didn't. No, you did. People like me and all of these conservative MAGA podcasters sent that video out, and you made it a story. And now someone put the squeeze because the schism is real. The non-crazy Democrats, the fake moderate, they're fake because they'll be liberals when they need them. The fake moderate Democrats are realizing they've got a problem. They are out of touch with mainstream America. They got in her ear, and I'm telling you, this conversation happened. They said, we're trying to accuse them of being election deniers. You're on video actually doing it. And why? Because we're in charge. Remember, Bain? Do you feel like you're in charge? Because you're not. It's ours now. You know who the new media people are? Us, Shapiro, Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn, Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson. We're in charge now. I want you to watch this. You were the news. This was Scott Pressler, who did an absolutely incredible amount of work in Pennsylvania in turning this state from blue to purple to now what may be a red state, which would destroy the Democrats' chances in the future of winning a presidential election. Here is Pressler at the exact same meeting calling bullshit on this Bucks County commissioner. What's her name? Deanne something or whatever. I don't even really care. This is worth your time. Check this out.
And now, here before us, it's on the world stage that we have a commissioner, quote, by Diane Marsiglia, precedent by a court doesn't matter anymore in this country. People violate laws any time they want. And if I, meaning Diane Marsiglia, violate this law, it's because I want a court to pay attention to it. Well, Commissioner, the court already ruled that undated and misdated mail-in ballots could not be counted. You knew that going into the meeting. And I want to congratulate the people of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. This speech I'm doing right now is going to be seen by millions across the country, the Commonwealth, and the world. And I have a message. Congratulations to President-elect Donald J. Trump, the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America.
Yeah, you go, brother. You go, man. Listen, man, that guy's just aces, man. And it's important that I use my show as the #1 conservative podcast out there right now. It's important I use my show to celebrate others and bring them up too. Folks, I mean it. I mean it. This show is absolutely committed to floating everybody's boat up. Whether it's Evita's, Steven Crowder's show, this movement, make no mistake, this is not faux humility or anything. It's not about me. I appreciate that I'm a part of it and you have made me a part of it, but this movement is not about me. It's about floating everybody's boat up because I'm not for everyone, folks. Someone tweeted out yesterday, you know, no one thanks their audience more. It's because it matters to me. We had to think about it. Look, we have 162,000 people watching the show, and there was a DDoS attack on Rumble in 3 states, and not small ones either. And we're still closing in at our biggest audience of the week. That's how freaking loyal you guys and ladies are, and my gosh, I love you for it. Thank you so much. You are the news now. This is a real story. It's not about backslaps. It's about how now it's time to floor the freaking gas pedal. When you're done with me, go watch Graham Allen. When you're done with Graham Allen, watch Crowder. When you're done with Crowder, watch Tucker. Then watch Rogan or whatever. You don't need old school media anymore. Here's MSNBC, Morning Joe, which their ratings are just falling off planet Earth. I think we have a far bigger audience than them at this point between audio and video. Here's Morning Joe starting to come to the realization that this is a real problem for them in the future, that we, the new media ecosystem, whatever you want to call it, they call it the Rogan sphere, I don't care what you call it, we're in charge. And now they know it. Watch this.
1 in 5 adults regularly get their news from influencers on social media. The number is even higher among younger Americans, with almost 40% under the age of 30 getting their news from those sources. According to the Pew Research Center, the social media site X remains the most widely accessed platform, followed by Instagram and YouTube.
I mean, that comes obviously for political news. And Mike, that's the challenge. You grew up in a newsroom like Gene grew up in a newsroom. I mean, that's a lot of challenge. That's a challenge for a lot of mainstream media sources is, do they make themselves relevant again?
Folks, It's over for them. It's over. I'm in an exceptionally good mood today. Friday's closing in. Got a big weekend plan. Hanging out. We're going to be at Blackbird this weekend, one of my favorite restaurants. I always have a good time. The owner there, Cleve, is just one of the most amazing guys. Just really like a real patriot, loves the country. Folks, I want to make sure that I don't waste your time. This is only going to get better for us going forward if we take advantage of it. And by better, I mean something very specific. Hopefully I get to this article today or tomorrow from Real Clear Politics. Guy, can you just throw it up on the screen, the one about the electoral dynamics changing? It was at the end of the show. I'll get to it in more detail, hopefully today or tomorrow at some point. You have a number of factors. You want to feel good? Listen to this segment. The stars are aligning for a long-term MAGA realignment. This article in Real Clear, it's in the newsletter, on bongino.com/newsletter. Why Democrats are losing tomorrow's elections today. Here are these factors lining up at the exact same time. Number one, and again, I'll discuss this in more detail another time. People are leaving liberal states and moving to conservative states, but the people leaving are the conservatives. It's creating a real problem for blue states because they lose two things. One, they lose members of Congress because the members of Congress you have in a number are based on the population. Less population, fewer members of Congress. That's a good thing for us. And then more members of Congress from red states. But second, they lose votes in the Electoral College in the presidential race too, because the Electoral College votes are based on population too. Folks, this is a double whammy for them. Now, combine that with the fact that fewer and fewer people, 1 in 5, are watching old school mainstream liberal media. And then factor number 3, the 1 in 5 that are still watching it, only 31% of those people, according to that poll we saw before the election, only 31% of people actually believe what they're being told by the mainstream media. I'm not telling you we're not going to have some setbacks. I'm just telling you on a Thursday, the weekend's coming. We just won this election. The appointees have been great. The tide is all coming in for us, man. It is absolutely a delicious time to be alive. The trend lines for us are all positive. You got a gun to my head right now and you say, who do you want to be long-term, a Democrat or Republican, agnostic of ideology? You 100% want to be a Republican. Every trend line is going in our direction. You did this. You chose as your source of media all of those outlets I just mentioned. Rumble, X, Truth, and now they're all being left behind. And the problem is the people left behind. Think about what I just said. The math matters. I hope this isn't boring. Is this stupid? I'm sorry. This segment is so critical to understanding and being able to decipher what's happening now and in the future. Only 1 in 5 people are getting their news from old school sources. Only about 30% of those people actually believe what they're being told. It's creating a bubble. Let's go back to the beginning of the show. In that bubble, they're only talking to each other. They're still telling each other, defund the police is great. People want men in the women's bathroom. Tell black people they're victims. Tell Asians you're not allowed in school no matter how hard you work. They're still telling them that because they can't escape the bubble because they're only talking to each other in that isolated thing. Here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. We haven't used a Scott Jennings clip in a while. I like this guy over at CNN. Here he is. He's the Republican commentator over there trying to explain this to the CNN crew that you guys don't get it because you can't get it because you live in this bubble and nothing's going to change until you pop it. Watch this.
I do think we have a crisis of especially young men in this country, and they're in many ways disconnected from the rest of their families, disconnected from their communities, disconnected from our political culture, disconnected from our civil culture. And that's a real problem for a society that depends on all of us to be engaged and working together to make it as good of a country and as good of a society as it can be. I think the Democrats in this election made men feel like that the patriarchy is over, boys, and we're going to put you in the back seat for a while and you're just going to have to accept it without any thought to the ramifications of telling people who are out honestly trying to make a living, provide for their families, be good husbands, be good fathers. When you tell people who are doing their level best that either A, it's not good enough, or B, you're part of the problem.
The schism, man, it is real. Do you see how the lefties on the panel, if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, forgive me, I love our audio audience too, and some of you just prefer the audio medium, and that's cool. I'll explain to you. The folks who are watching saw it as well as I did. You got to watch their faces on the panel. They're the bubble dwellers, and they're on the left side of the schism. They're just going to get crazier. They're looking at him like, you guys saw it, right? Like, they're looking at him like he's a science experiment. Like, we have you on because we know you appeal to a demographic. We're trying to get back some Republicans on CNN, but we don't actually believe you. They're looking at him like they're waiting for something to happen, like when you drop a Mentos in like a Diet Coke bottle or something. Like, they're not listening to what he's saying. They're the bubble dwellers. But proving my point again, that there are people on the left who are at least trying to get it, not because they're down with us or anything like that, but because they want to win and there's money involved. Here's an article from Axios about COVID, calling this the COVID election by Mike Allen. People are now starting to realize what we warned them about COVID. And by the way, to the dipshits on Twitter, again, these people who they don't even want to, they come out and with COVID stuff with me. You didn't do, a lot of these people, you didn't do shit. I got banned from YouTube for warning people about the vaccine. And how many times do I got to tell you this about the damn vaccine? It's number one, the biggest freaking mistake of my life. I'm still taking nattokinase to this day, terrified about it. And second, I had cancer. I had two choices, die or get treatment with vaccine. So you can shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. At no point ever, I will give you $1 million if you can, $1 million cash. If you can point to a segment of the show where I told anyone, hey, you have to go get this vaccine. It's awesome. Because you'll never find it. It'd be the easiest million ever made. Why not just make the money? I mean to get off on a tangent, but I get that. Nothing pisses me off more than stupidity on the platform. It drives me crazy. There's so many morons there. We were on the right side of this. I'm not allowed on YouTube. I can show you the emails because I told people with COVID, these people are messing with you. Do not put the face diaper on your face. It doesn't work. And they said, we're going to kick you off. All right, fine. Kick me off. And they did. Best thing I ever did was go to Rumble. Sorry. I got to stop. I get too crazy with stuff. I told you, that stuff, there's two things that bothered me. The primary and the mask stuff and the vax stuff. Because if you don't know what it's like to face that awful choice, stick this freaking thing in your arm without knowing the side effects or don't get treatment and die, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. And people attacking me for it, it's disgusting. I hope that doesn't happen to you or your kids ever, and you're faced with these awful choices. You take shots at me all you want, but you're a piece of shit. And just know I know that. I get all distracted. You see, that drives Guy crazy. He's like, got to stay on point. We got a whole show. Okay, I'm back. See how I can turn it on like that? The COVID election. You see the schism? There are people in the fake moderate side who are realizing their COVID tyranny really destroyed their entire party brand, liberal, Democrat, communist. Simmering frustration over COVID precautions helped return Trump to the White House. And some public health experts fear the public's trust in science has been irreparably damaged. Wait, leave this up. Fear? You fear it may be irreparably damaged? It's irreparable. It's done. You destroyed it. Put the mask on. A freaking mask? Jam this thing in your arm. Well, what's in it? I don't know. We'll figure it out later. They know some experts now say they took the wrong tone. The wrong tone. Take this motherfucking jab or we're going to fire you from your job. That's not the wrong tone, you commies. They took the wrong tone. Here, I love how they framed this too. Check this out. When trying to defend safety measures like masks, it was not a safety measure. It was not a safety measure. Or build confidence in the vaccines. The Wall Street Journal reports into a deep dive into the pandemic's long-lasting political impact. Folks, their COVID tyranny with you was two simultaneous things at the same time. It was the most disgusting act of political tyranny we've seen in the United States in 50, 60 years. And simultaneously, ironically, it was the greatest political gift the freedom and liberty movement ever got. Because the COVID tyranny, tell me in the chat, Bongino, get on the case. Yes, you agree with me, or no, you didn't. I'm serious. I want your opinion. I think more than anything else, more than even open borders and identity politics tyranny, I think the COVID tyranny is what turned more, quote, normies over to the MAGA movement than anything else. Right? Yeah, it's only, we got, oh man, that thing we're tearing at. We may break the chat. Maybe it wasn't the best thing. Sneaky Gemini, yes. Anna, ever, yeah, yes, you're damn right. 200, we're blowing up the chat again. 200 chats per second on this. The COVID tyranny, I can't tell you how many, oh my gosh, we are really, burn that thing down. Burn it to the ground, kids. Burn it to the ground. Chris, I'm sorry. I know we're probably overloading your servers at the wrong time, but that's what the Army does. When we take over and we're in town, we clean up servers everywhere. Whatever's wrong there, we just knocked it right out. Anyone trying to DDoS, you can't even get in because the Bongino Army's tearing it up. Look at this. Tear it up. Yeah, baby. The COVID tyranny. You know how many neighbors came to me? I can't believe the school board wanted to put masks on my kids. Oh, man, did we just crash that sucker? You guys are great. I love you guys. COVID tyranny did it more than anything. Folks, the schism is real, and we need to take advantage of it now because we have an opportunity now to do significant damage to the liberal communist collectivist movement. And the only way we're going to do it is with gas down, pedal down, no stopping, midterms coming up. We're going to move legislation. But secondly, what's policy? Policy's policy. No, people are policy. You are not going to do anything in government without the right people. Why do they hate Matt Gaetz? Matt Gaetz, the Trump's nominee, of course, for Attorney General. I'm going to show you some quickie moments why they can't stand Matt Gaetz and why Kash Patel is a great choice at FBI as well, despite some of the bullshit, the deep state op going on against them. If you see it, you'll know exactly. It's a total op, I promise you. It's a total op. And by the way, I did not in any way attack anonymous accounts. I attacked deep state anonymous accounts. If you can't comprehend that from what I said, you don't belong on my show. Just beat it. You're too stupid to understand what I was saying. What are you talking about? Like, I've been an investor in an entire free speech economy where some of the most controversial speakers in the world can only speak because of our investments, anonymous or not. Deep state anonymous accounts pretending to be one of us. I hate your guts, and I know exactly what you're doing. You're deep staters. I know it. I'm sure of it. They're attacking all of these people for a reason. They're trying to smoke you up. Watch Matt Gaetz with this assistant director of the FBI on a Hunter Biden laptop. This is why they want to make this guy go away. Check this out.
So where is it? The laptop.
Sir, I'm not here to talk about the laptop. I'm here to talk about the FBI cyber program.
You are the assistant director of FBI cyber. I want to know where Hunter Biden's laptop is. Where is it?
Sir, I don't know that answer.
That is astonishing to me. Has FBI cyber assessed whether or not Hunter Biden's laptop could be a point of vulnerability, allowing America's enemies to hurt our country? Now, you're telling me right here is that as the assistant director of FBI cyber, you don't know where this is after it was turned over to you 3 years ago.
Yes, sir, that's an accurate statement.
How are Americans supposed to trust that you can protect us from the next colonial pipeline if it seems that you can't locate a laptop that was given to you 3 years ago from the first family, potentially creating vulnerabilities for our country? I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record of this committee the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop, which I'm in possession of.
This is why they don't want Matt Gaetz, folks. They're scared of the people because people are policy. Policy is not policy. Ask Joe Biden when it comes to student loans. Here's another guy they're afraid of, Kash Patel over at FBI. Why? Because Kash knows where the bodies are buried. The FBI has become too focused on intel, spying on Americans, all things he's been calling out public for 7-8 years now. It's why they don't want it. It's why the deep state's running a bot operation against them. Here's Cash on the two-tiered system of justice. This is why they don't want him over there. Watch this.
The biggest problem I have right now is a two-tier system of justice. And that's the biggest argument we need to advance. Not the QAnon, Shannon, whatever that guy's name is, or certain videos depicting X, Y, and Z, but use it as a vehicle to say, look at how differently you can be treated by the justice system in the United States of America, depending on your political orientation. Go back to the Antifa riots of, not last summer, but the summer before that. 2 liberal attorneys, white shoe lawyers, firebombed a New York City police car and burned it to the ground with Molotov cocktails.
And the judge called him a good guy.
Good guy. Federal. So they were charged, obviously, rightfully so. As a federal prosecutor, a federal public defender who defended people who did that stuff, that's a 10-year minimum mandatory federal prison sentence. You know what this DOJ did? Waived the charges, allowed the judge to go under the midman, and gave him basically probation. That's a two-tier system of justice. Mark my word, it's going to happen with this.
So that's why they don't want him. Every single thing I've told you is a problem with the FBI. FISA spying on American citizens, a love affair with intelligence gathering on us, and a two-tiered system of justice. He's been publicly calling out forever. What else would you want in a nominee?